What is up, you guys? It's your girl Alexa Takes a Look, and today we are back with some more BAND-MAID, and we are continuing on our documentary journey. And today we are getting into my girl AKANE, so we're just gonna jump right into that. As always, if you have not subscribed to my channel and would like to, please do so. Here's just a little reminder, but let's go ahead and get into this video. These documentaries are a little bit longer, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so we have it pulled up. Thank you to the OG creator, which is Orenji, I think is how you say it, Orenji, but the original video will be linked below. But if you're here for BAND-MAID, I'm assuming you've already seen these, but let's jump into it.
What the hell is this? Ooh, that was way too loud. Sorry about that. All right. Who is the next one? Let's see here. Oh, but she was the one. Wait, she's also a DJ?
I can see it.
Really?
I can see it.
Okay then, let's talk about AKANE. AKANE was born on December 14th in
love
Hyogo,
that look on her.
a prefecture very close to Osaka. She lived with her
there.
mother, her stepfather, and for
Osaka,
a short
not
period
Hyogo.
of time, with her stepbrother, who is 11 years older. During her youngest years, AKANE was very unsociable and the one to do whatever she wanted, like leaving kindergarten to go home or not participating in games and activities with the other kids. She was, as she likes to say while laughing, a real problem child. Note that in Japan, children go to school and come back home on their own very early, sometimes at 3 or 4. Over the years, she became more and more friendly and discovered that talking to other people wasn't that bad after all.
Well, sometimes.
During her school years, she loved home economics and art, but hated studying. She was also bad at physical activities. Who would have
Girl
thought?
same. Girl
Being
same.
a huge fan of manga, AKANE was easily influenced by The Prince of
that's
Tennis
cute.
or Slam Dunk to try different sports, but soon realized that her motivation was gone pretty quickly. She's the kind of person who wants to try everything that could interest her, but nothing lasted very long,
Yeah,
except
sounds like me.
one thing. And this is something that we've seen in Saiki and Konami's childhood. AKANE has loved music since she was very little. For her, it started with piano in kindergarten and lasted a few years before she stopped because the joy wasn't there anymore. Although, she can still play some songs on the piano, even today. She continued for 5 years with trombone, but it wasn't something she saw herself pursuing. At the end of her trombonist career, she realized that a lot of her friends joined bands, so she went to a lot of live performances and music festivals with them. That's how the idea of being in a band started to grow in AKANE's head. So she joined the AKANE Club to form a band. To get an idea of what it was like, you can watch the anime AKANE. AKANE started with the guitar,
Love it.
but soon realized that her hands were too small to play, and it was impossible for her to continue. The bass was off the table too, as you can imagine, and she's no singer, at least according to her, so what's left? Yes, drums. And once AKANE tried a drum kit, she felt that that was it.
Look at how happy she looks too. That's so cute.
While learning drums, she started to listen to rock bands like El Garden and Bump of Chicken to end
A
up
bump
making
of
covers of their
chicken,
songs.
yes.
She also learned about the band Maximum the Hormone and their female drummer, Now. Akane was stunned to discover that the drummer of this hard rockin' band was not a man. This was the kind of drummer she wanted to become, so she kept this picture of a strong female drummer in her mind as a role model. It was, and still is, important to Akane to have an impact on anyone who thinks that a female drummer can only play soft.
You
and
go,
not hard.
girl. You go, girl.
With this image in mind, she practiced every week at her school, the only place that had a drum kit available, as she didn't own one. The other problem was that she was alone in her club, so she could only practice by herself. By the end of her second year, she wanted to do a graduation live performance, so she gathered some of her friends from her old symphonic band days and performed a copy of the group Pez, a Japanese instrumental band consisting of a trumpet, a saxophone, a double bass, a keyboard vocalist, and of course, drums. You might be surprised to learn that Akane wanted to work as a hairdresser after graduation. But as she started drums and was 100% committed to improve her playing skills, she completely changed her mind and instead wanted to enroll in a music school.
Good for you,
Against the will
girlfriend.
of her teacher, but with the support of her parents, Akane went to the Tokyo School of Music for 2 years to follow her passion.
That teacher don't know.
She was surrounded by talented musicians who wanted to become professional. Even though she was just a beginner in her class, she worked very hard and played every day to catch up with the other students. It was during those years that she joined a band who did a combined live show with another band featuring the one and only Konami. She immediately acknowledged how good Konami was with the guitar and wanted to know more about her. It turned out that they lived very close from each other, so they quickly became friends. Konami used to ask Akane to play drums on her demos before sending them to record companies. Unfortunately, Akane's band didn't stay together very long, and she was back to square one. But Akane was resourceful, so she started a part-time job as a waitress in a music restaurant in Yokohama. She could watch live performances and sometimes have a sit behind the kit to play when the restaurant closed for the day. She told the manager that she plays drums, so he asked if she could play right now. And she did. Akane played Highway Star from Deep Purple, and the manager agreed to let her play. He even offered to train her.
Wow.
From that moment,
That's
Akane trained
nice
every day
manager.
to improve her skills
Thank you, manager
and become
man.
a better
Or
drummer.
woman.
We are now in 2013, and BAND-MAID is actively looking for 3 female musicians to join a rock band while wearing maid outfits. I say 3 because at this time, they weren't searching for a lead vocalist yet. Our little pigeon already recruited Konami, so the band was looking for a drummer and a bassist. As you can imagine, Konami talked to Akane about this opportunity. She trusted her with her demos, so why shouldn't she? At first, Konami mentioned the label and Akane was excited, until Konami revealed that they are recruiting for an all-girls band. In case you wonder, she hadn't even mentioned the part where they would all have to be dressed in maid outfits. Akane had too many bad experiences from all-girl bands, so she wasn't really thrilled about this idea. But the restaurant she was working at was about to close for good, so she took some time to think about it and finally decided to join Konami. What about the maid outfit, you would ask? Well, she was reluctant at first, but how do you know that it's bad without even trying? After all, if Konami is already there, it'll be okay, right? So she was willing to give it a try anyway. Konami sent her some demos, and Akane found the music really cool right away. And the image of an all-girls band dressed like maids playing this kind of music was really interesting for her.
It is a unique idea.
She
for
felt
sure.
that her reluctance against all-girl bands and maid outfits was fading away as her motivation kept growing. Just a few months later, A 5-members acoustic band was created under the name Mochi to Cheese. What's the link with AKANE, you could ask? Well, AKANE and Konami were both part of this side band with 3 members from the band Predia, an idol group formed in 2010 under the same agency as BAND-MAID, Platinum Passport. They started to perform in the streets with acoustic covers and even performed live a few times over the 2 years of activity. The band also covered Forward, a song from BAND-MAID. A single was released in September 2015, but only 2 months later, they sent their last tweet and posted their last entry in their blog. After that, we did not hear from Mochi to Cheese again. Their YouTube channel is still available, so you can at least watch a fraction of their performances.
この出会いに優しいキスをこれが運命なら
There's my goddess too in the back.
モスチーズでしたバイバイ
Cute.
Let's get back to BAND-MAID. With all those years of practice, AKANE had a solid base of drumming to bring to the band, but she didn't have a lot of practice with the twin pedals on high-paced songs.
Really? She
She
does
did buy one when
fantastic
she was
with
in high
it.
school, but she gave up pretty quickly, only to come back on it later and work as much as she could to try and master it. With BAND-MAID, AKANE had to use twin pedals for the first time with Thrill. A painful first experience for her, but the feedback was incredible, so the band members wanted to add more twin pedals in the next songs over the years. This is something that AKANE wanted to do as well, but remember that from 2016, the songs are written by Konami, and Konami loves fast-paced rhythm.
速いのは一番速い BPM。
I think it's 225.
お
惜しいう
ちには225ないね。
200
じゃあ次225を目指します。
Usually, Konami songs are based at about 170 beats per minute, but AKANE struggled to play the twin pedals over 130 beats per minute because of her lack of solid practice on twin pedaling. But she wouldn't be defeated that easily.
I believe in you.
BAND-MAID is a hard rock
AKANE,
band.
you could do it.
They needed to be hard on their music, and AKANE had to be able to play faster. So what do you think she did?
Practice.
She thought about how she moves her legs and found ways to improve her movements to be able to play faster. And what's the best way to do it? Practice, practice, practice. Muscle memory. AKANE tried to move her legs every time and everywhere she could as if she was playing the twin pedals, so her legs remembered those movements. She was also pushed by Konami, who kept including a lot of twin pedals in her songs. A challenge that AKANE couldn't refuse to face, as she is not the type to admit that she can't keep up with a song. After a lot of work and thinking about her playstyle, AKANE is now able to use twin pedals anytime, in any song.
I don't know this song, but I like it. Oh, I like this one.
Did you know that BAND-MAID performed with a man once?
Excuse
No.
me?
You want to know more about this story?
I'm just
Of
kidding.
course you do. It was in 2015,
I was
on
joking,
December
I was
4th to be
joking.
exact, at the Shinjuku club Science, that AKANE was replaced by a male drummer for a performance. Why, you might ask?
I'm just gonna end.
AKANE mentioned in an interview around that time that she just had an injury
Oh,
and she needed time to rest and heal.
yes.
Don't
yes.
worry, it wasn't a life or death situation, as AKANE came to this performance disguised as a staff member to support her bandmates.
That's
She
cute.
tweeted 2 months later with a photo of her holding a lot of drumsticks with messages written from fans from all over the world.
That's so cute.
BAND-MAID has the best community of fans. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Now, I'm sure that many of you maniacs know that Akane likes to eat. A lot. She can
Same,
eat
girl.
120 bowls of soba when on average, a man eats 70 bowls and a woman 50. Or
I don't know
even
if I could
30
eat that
plates
many
at a
bowls.
kaiten sushi, a restaurant where plates of sushi are placed on a conveyor belt
That I can
winds
do.
through the restaurant and moves past every table, counter, and seat.
That I can do.
And believe me when I tell you that 30
It is a lot, but I can do it. I
She
love
loves
sushi.
eating food so much that you can see her eating in a lot of the music videos over the years. I'll bet she really enjoyed filming those. Akane was invited for a
Where
few
does it all
episodes
go?
of BAND-MAID Nippon, and they played a game
Girl, I
where
know where
Miki
mine
and
goes.
Saiki had to guess her favorite food outside of Japan.
ご飯
ご飯
何米ってこと？
ご飯
米？ピザ？
ど
ういうこと主食の
主食っていうのか
メインのもの
メインの
なこってりじゃないでしょきっと。
こってりじゃないね
パエリア。
パエリアです
ね勘で言ったら当たったし。
あ、どうなの
What is
At the
that?
creation of BAND-MAID, Akane was designated as the leader as she appeared to be the most responsible. But now, every member has a different role equally important, and having a leader was just not relevant anymore. Akane is also famously known for goofing around every chance she gets.
Wow. Y'all didn't tell me she was a singer too. Oh wait, is that not her
During
singing?
live performances.
Wait a second.
And she's
Did I
not the
just
only
get
one,
duped?
as the other band members try to make her laugh by pulling faces. Sometimes it gives us some very special moments to watch. And sometimes it just works too well. BAND-MAID is really putting on a show when it comes to live performances because these 5 hard rockin' maids are really enjoying themselves, don't you think? All right, it's time to talk about Akane's drum style. But let's keep it simple, shall we? And as I didn't become a musician since our last video on Konami, I will let today's special guests talk to you about this very interesting subject.
Special game.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait to hear what they have to say about Akane. Let's go.
BAND-MAID is a group of individuals that are just such heavy hitters on their instruments. When they come together, the overall sound of the ensemble is amazing. The rhythms, the harmonies, the quality of the vocals, the songwriting, the skill sets of how everything is woven together is a very amazing listening experience. I've only seen the videos, but from moment one, it had me hooked. Now, Akane's drumming is when you see someone that is so fluid and relaxed and they're playing at such a high velocity and the demand is so great, the level of respect is top. It is top for me.
Well deserved.
So she has a way of laying back in the groove and just flowing so well, but a lot of the times these tempos are burning, like they're going fast, but she has this thing where it's like effortless mastery. She lays back, there's all these augmentations and interactions within the orchestration of the song with everybody else. Like there's always these complicated things happening, but when you watch her play, the legato, like it's smooth. It's like you don't really notice how difficult everything is. And for me, that's the major selling point, because anytime something seems like smooth and easy, it's not. It's because the person is so good. They've put in so many thousands of hours on their instrument, and their ability to have all that ensemble listening go on allows them to be that effortless mastery that I just brought up. I will never get tired of watching Akane play. I mean, to be just completely honest, it's inspirational, and it just makes me want to be a better musician.
Akane is a very impressive musician. For many reasons, one of them is her constant evolving. It's almost a rule among musicians to get to a certain level and then stop because that's good enough. But there's no such thing as good enough for Akane. She's constantly getting better, not only in her skills as a player, but also as a writer. There's not a single dull moment in her writing. There's always something different and interesting and creative happening. Her creativity has no limits. She almost never repeats herself. That thing where the second verse is
that
completely different
Yoda
from
doll
first,
in the
but you can
background
still tell it's
have
the same thing. It represents the same
a
thing. That's
Miku
very impressive writing.
shirt
Akane is a
on?
drummer's drummer, but she's also everybody's drummer. What I mean
It's
by
Miku,
that
right?
is, to someone who's not familiar with the drums, she sounds very impressive. She is, but it's not impenetrable. It's not tedious or self-serving. She's always serving the music. You can always groove to it. But when you do know what she's doing, your mind goes blank for a second, because she can write these incredibly intricate parts that are also beautiful. Recent
it's Baby
example of that
Yoda,
is
sorry,
in
Grogu.
Influencer, the
Not
transition
Yoda.
that goes from
Grogu.
first chorus to the second verse, and that whole part afterwards with the cross sticks and everything. I think they call it the A melody. There's so much happening there. It's so fast. It's so different. And not different from the first verse, different from everything I ever heard from her. There's more music in those, 15 seconds than in 99.99% of all music ever recorded. And you can still dance to it. Then you see her playing live. Doesn't even look like she's doing anything that hard. She doesn't call attention to herself. She just smiles and plays impossible. She hits very, very, very hard with so little effort. She's so fast. She's so precise. But she's also expressive. There's feeling in her playing. And that's what music is, or should be, is taking your instrument and amplifying your emotions to touch people's hearts. Akane does that.
I like his shirt
She hits
too.
very hard with incredible speed and precision, but she's also putting herself, her feelings into her music. She's joy, she's happiness, fun to be around. She jokes around, she says random things, and her playing is also like that. Her drumming, her music is joyous, is happy, is pleasurable and surprising, and connects the songs. And she's constantly getting better at it, and that's very impressive.
Where do I even begin with Akane? Oh, I've tried covering her drums so many times. Never really got them right because they're so complex. She's definitely the hardest drummer I've ever tried to cover. The skills required alone are insane, but it's not only the skill, it also requires an insane amount of memory skills because she's constantly changing up her drum patterns, keeping things fresh. It never gets stagnant, but it's so hard to remember all the different little changes she makes. And somehow she's still able to smile through all of it while she's playing. She plays with
That's my
so
favorite
much
part.
power, so much energy, and perfectly complements all the other instruments around her. You can tell from what she's playing that she listens to her fellow bandmates and does what she can to accentuate their parts instead of just playing underneath them or playing over them. She gives the song exactly what it needs. Such a well-rounded drummer. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Once again, I've been telling you the story of someone who has been in love with music since forever and tried many instruments until she found the one that was perfect for her: drums. Even though she was alone in her club during high school, without a drum kit to practice on at home, Akane did her best to learn the basics by herself and was able to join
Which is
a music
crazy.
school and pursue her goal of becoming a professional musician. From a child who wanted to try everything but couldn't find the motivation to keep at it, to a truly passionate musician, Akane kept doing her best to live for and from music. Working at a music restaurant to end up playing drums there, joining BAND-MAID with Konami, and within this already incredible band, learning and evolving towards this image of a strong hard rock female drummer she always wanted to be associated with. Akane wanted to prove that gender has nothing to do with her drumming and how hard BAND-MAID's music is. And we can all agree that she does this every time she hits her drums.
What is this song with the water
No
on the
matter how
drums?
difficult it was, no matter how many obstacles she faced,
I
Akane
need to watch
destroyed
that video.
everything in her way so she could achieve what makes her special
Look at her. She
as a
truly
person
enjoys it too.
and a drummer.
That's why it's so nice to watch her. She enjoys it, so of course so are we.
I never change. That love is beautiful.
So many songs I need to listen to in this one. All right, so next up we have the documentary on Misa, followed by the 3-part to Miku. So we'll be continuing on that next week. Man, about AKANE. I mean, like I said before, with as much that she enjoys playing, it's hard not to watch her and not feel that joy. Like, it's just impossible. You watch her play, you're going to feel happy because she is happy. I mean, how many times have I been like, oh my gosh, it's so cute because she's like jamming out and she's just smiling like a friggin' cute little drummer that she is. I don't know. I think that's so cool. I think I like how she had a role model and she visualized this person and then she basically became what she wanted to be. And I think that's super cool. I think she makes a great role model for a lot of younger girls out there and even older girls. Shoot, I need a role model. But yeah, to basically just be like, you know, no matter what, if you want to do it and you can put in the work to make it happen, then you can do it, you know? Who cares? I think that's a great message, and that's a kind of message that I can stand behind. But yeah, so we're going to be continuing on with the documentaries. As always, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share whatever the cool YouTubers say. It's your girl Alexa Takes a Look, and I'm bouncing out.